We Told You So, Episode 17. Now bear with me because I've been gone for a week, so some of this might be a recap. So far in terms of the results of the event on November 5th, we've heard a lot of people sounding alarms, and we don't know if anybody's actually taking action on this. But in the meantime, Trump has been continuing to pick people for his future cabinet. Sorry, I misspoke. Trump is continuing to pick the worst cabinet appointments in history. And while anything John Bolton says should usually be taken with a grain of salt, I agree with him. So far, he's picked a Fox News pundit to be the Secretary of Defense, which is like asking a pastry chef to work on the Hadron Collider. Many of Trump's cabinet nominees themselves are battling misconduct claims and controversies, like Matt Gaetz. The hilarious thing is that once Matt Gaetz was chosen to be the Attorney General, he immediately resigned from the Congress. Yet, at the same time, Republicans don't think they have enough votes in the Senate to confirm him. Which I believe just means he'll be out of a job, which would be fucking hilarious. He picked little Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. He picked ass-kisser Elise Stefanik as the ambassador to the UN, somebody who, much like Mike Huckabee, the ambassador to Netanyahu's country, doesn't give a shit about the Palestinians. As I mentioned before, Stephen Miller, Trump's pick for head of operations, has said he wants to turbocharge their denaturalization project, which means taking away your legal citizenship status so they can deport you. Which, as I've stated, is going to cause massive food shortages and increase unemployment because 75% of the agriculture workforce are migrants. Meanwhile, many places are sounding the alarm on how Trump's presidency will be disastrous for the climate. Not only because of climate change denial from him and everyone else in his cabinet, from massive deregulation of fossil fuel and other companies, increased dumping and pollution, him being completely against all forms of green energy like windmills and solar panels, and he just wants to throw everything into more fossil fuel burning. He also, by the way, is threatening California with not giving them aid during wildfire season again. Which is once again not only going to spew tons of poisonous carbon into the air, but is going to make our breathing air much more difficult. Much like with COVID, when Donald Trump did absolutely nothing, he's going to let these fires continue to burn, releasing poisonous gases into our air, and he's going to just allow millions more people to die. And just another little piece of irony, in 2020, when Donald Trump was campaigning, he said that if Joe Biden gets elected, the stock market's going to crash. Meanwhile, all it's done is hit record highs the entire time Biden's been in office. Trump hasn't even been certified yet, and the stock market is already tanking as Trump is unveiling his horrible cabinet picks. The stock market is completely losing confidence in the economy because they know Donald Trump's cabinet is going to be inept and stupid. I mean, for fuck's sake. He recently chose a massive oil fracking boss as energy secretary, which means once again, all of our energy is going to be diverted away from clean, renewable sources and is going to be entirely about continuing to drill, baby, drill and burn the fuck out of everything. And this is all without even touching on my previous statements about how Donald Trump's deportations and his tariffs are already going to skyrocket our inflation, skyrocket our unemployment, and ruin our economy, even before they start poisoning our water and burning our air. And remember when I kept saying that Trump might do something crazy like invoke the Insurrection Act? He plans to declare a national emergency on his first day and use the military for deportations. On day one, there will be military in the streets. And like I mentioned months ago, I wouldn't put it past him to invoke the Insurrection Act to mop up any peaceful protesters who get in his way. This story would literally horrify George Orwell. This has been We Told You So.